The vast darkness of space held no secrets for the approaching alien fleet. Commander J. Park stood on the bridge of his massive starship, his cold eyes scanning the navigation screens. Earth was just another target, another world to be claimed. By the Galactic Confederacy, sensors picked up human communication signals, primitive but intriguing. The transmissions revealed a species that seemed technologically naive, with basic radio and satellite communications. J. Park allowed himself a small smile of superiority. Nearby, his second-in-command, Lieutenant Dong-Su, reviewed the initial reconnaissance reports. Massive land masses, blue oceans, and a single moon orbiting a yellow star. Nothing special. The human planet looked unremarkable, just like hundreds of other worlds they had encountered and conquered. "Prepare initial scanning protocols," J. Park commanded. His voice was sharp, carrying the confidence of a fleet that had conquered dozens of civilizations. The alien technology surrounding him hummed with power. Energy shields that could deflect most known weapons, plasma cannons that could vaporize entire cities, and faster-than-light travel capabilities that made human space exploration look like child's play. On Earth, in a small underground military research facility, Captain Kim Yong reviewed the incoming astronomical data. Something was approaching, something big. Her team of scientists and military analysts worked quietly, their fingers dancing across holographic displays. "Multiple large objects detected at the edge of the solar system," a young technician reported. His voice trembled slightly, a mix of fear and excitement. Captain Yong remained calm. She had spent years preparing for this moment, training a specialized defense team that understood something the aliens did not: human adaptability. The alien fleet moved closer. Their massive ships created distortions in space, massive constructs that dwarfed anything humans had ever built. Each vessel was kilometers long, equipped with technology that made human military hardware look like ancient artifacts. Dong-Su began preparing the initial communication protocols. Standard procedure dictated they offer the human civilization a chance to surrender. Most species quickly understood the futility of resistance when confronted with such overwhelming technological superiority. "Transmission ready," Dong-Su announced. J. Park nodded. "Send the standard Confederation message. Give them one standard planetary rotation to prepare their surrender." Millions of kilometers away, the transmission reached Earth's communication networks. Military installations, government centers, and research facilities simultaneously received the alien message. But something was different about this human response. Instead of panic or immediate surrender, there was a calculated calmness. Research. Teams began analyzing the transmission. Military units activated defensive protocols, and a complex machine of human preparation started moving. Captain Kim Yong reviewed the alien message. Its contents were typical: demands of unconditional surrender, threats of total destruction, promises of mercy if immediate compliance was achieved. She had seen similar messages during simulation exercises. "Prepare defensive grid," she told her team. Her voice was steady, her hands moving quickly across the control panel. The alien fleet continued its approach, confident and unhurried. They had seen this scenario play out countless times across the galaxy. Primitive civilizations always had. Two responses: total surrender or complete annihilation. They did not yet understand humans. In research facilities, military bases, and secret laboratories across the planet, something was happening. Experimental weapons systems came online. Quantum computing networks began complex calculations. Adaptive technologies developed in secret over decades started initializing. The aliens believed they were approaching a simple conquest, a routine expansion of their galactic territory, another civilization to be added to their extensive records. They were wrong. As the first alien ships crossed the orbital boundary, something unexpected began to happen. Detection systems that seemed primitive suddenly displayed intricate, complex responses. Tracking algorithms that looked basic revealed themselves to be incredibly sophisticated. Commander J. Park's initial confidence began to waver. Something about this approach felt different. The first contact was about to begin, and neither side fully understood what was coming. The first alien energy beams cut through Earth's atmosphere like blazing blue-white lines. They expected total destruction, a quick and decisive strike that would cripple human defenses. What they didn't anticipate was the response waiting for them. Captain Kim Yong watched the incoming attack vectors on her holographic display. Her fingers moved with practiced precision, activating defense systems that had been years in development. Quantum adaptive shields began to shimmer around key planetary installations. The alien flagship, commanded by J. Park, launched its primary assault. Massive plasma cannons charged, ready to obliterate communication networks and military bases. Lieutenant Dong Su monitored the targeting systems, confident in their technological superiority. But something unexpected happened. The first energy blast that should have completely destroyed a major military installation simply dissipated. It was as if the human defensive systems had not just blocked the attack, but absorbed and neutralized it. In the underground control center, Sung Ho, the lead tactical analyst, allowed himself a small smile. "Adaptive resonance protocol is working," he reported to Captain Yong. Each alien weapon strike was met with an immediate counter-response. Human railguns, which looked primitive by alien standards, suddenly demonstrated incredible precision. Targeting systems that seemed basic revealed complex tracking algorithms that could predict and counter alien attack patterns. J. Park watched in growing confusion. His fleet's weapons, which had conquered dozens of civilizations, were being systematically neutralized. The human defense was unlike anything they had encountered before. "Recalibrate weapon frequencies," he commanded Dong Su. But even as he spoke, another human counterattack surprised them. Small, seemingly insignificant satellites transformed into deadly weapon platforms. They moved with unexpected agility, using Earth's own orbital mechanics as a defensive strategy. Each satellite was not just a weapon, but a complex node in an interconnected defensive network. The battle was no longer a simple invasion. It had become a complex dance of technological adaptation. Human research teams worked in synchronized chaos. Dr. Hyun Kim, a weapons development specialist, monitored the ongoing engagement. Her team had spent years preparing adaptive technologies that could learn and respond in milliseconds. "Analyze, adapt, counter," she muttered, her eyes tracking multiple holographic displays. The alien fleet found itself fighting an enemy that didn't just defend, it learned. Every weapon strike was studied, understood, and then neutralized. Weapon systems that should have been completely overwhelming became less and less effective. Dong Su reported the strange phenomenon to J. Park. "Our weapons, they're being rendered ineffective," he said, a hint of panic in his voice. The invasion was not going according to plan. Human ground-based defense systems began launching coordinated counterattacks. Missiles with quantum encrypted targeting systems found impossible paths through alien defensive grids. Experimental electromagnetic pulse weapons created localized disruptions in alien technology. What the aliens saw as a simple conquest was turning into a complex technological battle. Captain Kim Yong understood something the aliens did not. Human survival had always been about adaptation. Every technological challenge was an opportunity to learn, to grow, to overcome. The first hour of engagement revealed a critical truth. Humanity was not just defending, they were evolving. Alien communication networks began reporting strange data. Weapon systems that worked perfectly in hundreds of previous conquests were failing. The human defenders were not just resisting, they were actively learning and improving their defenses in real time. J. Park realized they had made a critical mistake. They had underestimated not just human technology, but human potential. The initial engagement was far from over, but it was already clear that this would not be a simple invasion. Humanity was ready, and the fight had only just begun. Dr. Hyun Kim stood in the center of the research facility, her eyes fixed on the complex holographic display. Surrounding her, a team of scientists worked with intense concentration. The alien invasion had become more than a threat. It was an opportunity to push human technology beyond its known limits. "We need a breakthrough," she muttered, analyzing the combat data streaming in from the ongoing battle. The experimental lab was a maze of advanced equipment. Quantum processors hummed with energy, complex algorithms danced across screens, and prototype weapon systems waited in carefully controlled chambers. What looked like random equipment to an outsider was actually a carefully designed technological ecosystem. Sung Ho burst into the room, carrying new combat data from the front lines. Our current defensive systems are holding, but we need something more, he explained, transferring the information to the main computer. Dr. Kim's fingers moved across the holographic interface. She saw patterns that others missed, subtle weaknesses in the alien technological approach. Their weapons were powerful but rigid. Human technology, by contrast, was becoming increasingly flexible. "We're going to create a hybrid system," she announced to her team. The other scientists looked up, their eyes bright with anticipation. The concept was revolutionary. They would combine plasma technology with quantum adaptive algorithms, creating a weapon system that could literally think and modify itself in microseconds. Traditional weapons responded. This new system would predict and prevent. On the orbital defense platform, Captain Kim Yong received the preliminary research report. Her tactical mind immediately understood the potential. If successful, this would change everything about how humanity approached technological warfare. Back in the research facility, Dr. Hyun Kim began the first test of the hybrid weapon system. The prototype looked deceptively simple, a small device that could easily fit in a person's hand. But its internal complexity was beyond anything the aliens had ever encountered. The first test fired a single pulse of energy. Computer systems tracked its trajectory, analyzing multiple potential outcomes faster than any human could comprehend. The pulse moved unlike any traditional weapon, adapting, changing, learning. In space, the alien fleet continued its assault. Commander J. Park still believed victory was inevitable. His technicians worked to counter the unexpected human resistance, unaware that a fundamental change was about to occur. Dr. Kim's team ran simulation after simulation. Each test revealed new possibilities. The hybrid weapon wasn't just a weapon. It was a learning system that could modify itself based on incoming data. It could predict enemy movement, create defensive shields, and launch counterattacks, all in a fraction of a second. "We're not just defending anymore," Sung Ho said, watching the test results. "We're evolving." The first full-scale test came unexpectedly. An alien destroyer approached, preparing to launch a massive energy attack. The hybrid weapon system activated automatically. What happened next shocked everyone. The weapon didn't just block the alien attack. It analyzed the energy signature, created a perfect counter frequency, and then reflected the energy back at the alien ship. The destroyer's shields collapsed in moments, the ship's systems completely paralyzed. Commander J. Park watched in disbelief as multiple ships began experiencing similar failures. Their supposedly invincible technology was being systematically dismantled by something they couldn't understand. "How?" Lieutenant Dong-Soo asked, his confidence crumbling. The answer was simple: human creativity. The ability to look at a problem, not as a fixed challenge but as an opportunity to create something entirely new. Dr. Hyun Kim allowed herself a small smile. The technological breakthrough wasn't just about a new weapon. It was about proving that human potential had no limits. The battle was far from over, but humanity had just changed the rules of engagement forever. The space near Orion's belt erupted with violent energy. Thousands of alien ships formed a massive battle formation, believing they would finally crush human resistance. Commander J. Park had gathered every remaining vessel from the Galactic Confederacy, determined to end the human threat once and for all. Captain Kim Yong watched their approach from Earth's primary defense station. Her team had been preparing for this moment, the decisive battle that would determine humanity's fate. "They're coming with everything they have," Sung Ho reported, tracking the incoming fleet's massive energy signatures. The alien armada looked impressive, kilometer-long battleships equipped with weapons that could destroy entire planetary systems. They moved with mathematical precision, each ship synchronized like a single massive organism. Commander J. Park was confident. This would be the final strike that would eliminate human resistance forever. What he didn't know was that humanity had been planning something special. Dr. Hyun Kim's hybrid weapon system was about to be deployed at full scale. Months of research, countless simulations, and rapid technological adaptations had prepared them for this moment. The experimental system was no longer just a weapon, it was a living, thinking defense mechanism. The first wave of alien attacks began. Massive energy beams cut through space, expecting to find vulnerable human defenses. Instead, they encountered something completely unexpected. Human orbital platforms began to move. But they weren't just moving, they were dancing. Each platform adapted, shifted, and repositioned with impossible speed. Alien targeting systems couldn't lock onto them. Weapon strikes that should have destroyed entire sections simply missed or were absorbed and reflected. Adaptive quantum displacement is working, Dr. Kim muttered, monitoring the battle from her research station. Commander J. Park watched in growing horror. His most powerful weapon, a planet-killer cannon designed to obliterate entire civilizations, prepared to fire. This single weapon could destroy everything in its path. But humans had been studying alien technology for weeks. As the planet-killer cannon charged, something remarkable happened. The hybrid weapon system didn't just defend, it attacked. It found microscopic weaknesses in the alien weapon's energy matrix, creating a quantum resonance that would turn the weapon against itself. The cannon fired, but instead of destroying its target, it began to collapse internally. The massive energy turned inward, creating a devastating implosion that destroyed multiple alien ships around it. Sung-Ho's tactical displays showed the incredible moment. Direct system infiltration complete, he reported to Captain Yong. The battle became a demonstration of human adaptability. Where alien technology was rigid and predictable, human systems learned and evolved with each passing moment. Weapon platforms that looked simple revealed complex adaptive capabilities. Commander J. Park's communication systems began to fail. One by one, his ships lost power, their advanced technologies overwhelmed by human quantum infiltration techniques. What should have been a simple conquest had turned into a technological nightmare. Lieutenant Dong-Soo watched in disbelief as their supposedly invincible fleet was systematically dismantled. Not through brute force, but through intelligent, adaptive technology. The final moments of the battle were almost beautiful in their complexity. Human satellites and defense platforms moved like a living, breathing organism. They predicted, countered, and neutralized alien attacks before they could even be launched. Captain Kim Yong understood something fundamental. This wasn't just a battle. It was a statement about human potential. As the last alien ships were neutralized, an eerie silence fell across the battlefield. Debris from thousands of alien vessels slowly drifted through space, a testament to humanity's unexpected technological leap. Commander J. Park's final transmission was simple. How? The response from Earth was equally straightforward. We adapt. The decisive battle was over. Humanity had not just survived, they had transformed the very nature of technological warfare. And this was just the beginning. The galaxy looked different after humanity's unexpected victory. Alien civilizations that once ignored Earth now watched with a mixture of fear and respect. The Galactic Confederacy, once considered an unstoppable force, had been defeated by a species they had completely underestimated. Captain Kim Yong stood before the United Earth Council, her uniform crisp and her eyes reflecting the recent battle. Behind her, holographic displays showed the massive technological breakthrough that had saved humanity. We are no longer just survivors, she told the council members. We are now a technological power that cannot be ignored. News spread quickly, across different star systems. The story of human resistance became a legend, a tale of how a seemingly primitive species had turned technological warfare on its head. Scientists from multiple alien civilizations began studying the human adaptive weapon systems, trying to understand the breakthrough. Dr. Hyun Kim received dozens of research requests from alien academic institutions. Her hybrid weapon technology had become the most studied scientific achievement in recent galactic history. But she knew something the others didn't. This was just the beginning of human potential. Sung-ho worked on documenting the battle strategies. Each moment of the conflict revealed how human creativity could overcome technological limitations. The adaptive systems they had developed were not just weapons, they were a new approach to problem-solving. Commander J. Park, now a prisoner of human forces, was questioned extensively. His understanding of galactic politics and alien technologies provided valuable insights. But what surprised the human interrogators most was his complete bewilderment about how they had been defeated. "Your species does not follow any known technological pattern," he told the human researchers. "You create solutions where others see only problems." The economic impact was immediate. Earth's technology companies became the most valuable entities in known space. Governments and corporations from various alien civilizations sought partnerships and technology exchanges. Humanity had transformed from a potential conquest target to a critical technological partner. United Nations Space Command began developing new exploration and defense strategies. The recent conflict had shown that humanity's greatest strength was not its weapons, but its ability to adapt and innovate. Dr. Kim's research team continued pushing technological boundaries. They understood that the recent battle was not an endpoint, but a starting point. Each discovery opened up new possibilities for human technological development. Alien diplomatic missions began arriving on Earth. They came not as conquerors, but as students and potential partners. The galactic power dynamics had fundamentally changed. "Humanity has proven itself," one alien diplomat said during a press conference. "You are no longer an unknown species. You are a technological force to be respected." Captain Kim Yong reflected on the journey. From the initial alien approach to the decisive battle, humanity had demonstrated something profound. They had shown that creativity, adaptability, and innovative thinking were more powerful than any advanced weapon system. Universities around the world began developing new research programs focused on adaptive technologies. Students who had once dreamed of space exploration now saw themselves as potential architects of humanity's galactic future. The aftermath was more than a military victory. It was a fundamental shift in how intelligent species viewed technological development. Sung-ho compiled the final battle reports. Each page told a story of human ingenuity, how small teams of researchers and military personnel had developed solutions that transformed a potential extinction event into a moment of species-wide triumph. Dr. Hyun Kim looked at the prototype, hybrid weapon system that had changed everything. It was small, almost insignificant looking, but within its complex internal structure lay the promise of humanity's future. The galaxy would never be the same. Humanity had arrived, not through conquest, but through intelligence, creativity, and an unbreakable spirit of adaptation.